Roger Gievelt, geopolitical expert and also, I think, finance and business expert, but he's not here in that capacity. Roger, welcome.
Thank you, Nick.
Good to have you on the show. Thank you for your time. Interesting, my conversation I had with Alistair Burt, who's a very distinguished former Minister of State for the Foreign Office. He was saying, look, this has been building up, that there would be some retribution from Iran because of the attack on their interests in Lebanon. As this news was breaking, he said, this sounds like what I think is a proportionate, within the bounds response that reduces the risk of escalation. If indeed that's what this is, you may know more.
Well, first of all, forgive me if I can just say, you actually said a moment ago the Israeli Revolutionary Guard.
Did I? I'm sorry. The Iran Revolutionary Guard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. That'll go viral.
I think that Alistair is absolutely right. It is proportionate, but I don't think it's about Hezbollah launching all the rocketry that they habitually do from Lebanon in this case. This, I believe, as do most geopolitical people, is retaliation for the killing of 13 people, the head of which was General Zahedi, because many people believe, especially many Israelis, that he's the bloke that pushed the button to go ahead with 7th October. He's the one that told Hamas, go, go, go. So Israel took him out, and Iran now wants its revenge for that. Now, I think there's two factors. I think everything you've said is quite accurate, Nick, and everything Alistair said, of course, is very profound and correct. And there are really two factors here. There's the hawks and the doves in Iran. The first point is that there is just absolutely no tactical or strategic, no strategic advantage or reason for Iran to attack Israel any more than it does daily through its proxies at this point. Revenge, as they say, is best served cold, and the ovens of the Middle East are flaming like an out-of-control
Roger, can I stop you there? And just, I remember the conversations after October the 7th, the Hamas attack on Israel. Lots of people were very fearful of an escalation which would bring Iran into the conflict. I don't remember many people sort of saying at the time, well, it's not in Iran's interest to do that. I could be wrong. My memory might be going. Who knows? But that it does seem to have changed now. We're almost getting a message that Iran kind of knows how to behave. Is that correct?
No, I don't think so. I think there are two schools. I think the hawkish people in Iran, which apparently, I'm told, includes Ayatollah Khamenei, want revenge. And of course, Israel can absolutely flatten Iran. Israel has precision-guided, weaponry that they can't even imagine, whereas Iran just has huge stockpiles of cheap but quite effective, very basic weapons that they can throw at Israel. If they escalate this, it could very easily get out of hand. That's why stock markets are reacting. It could turn, as Donald Trump has said, into World War III. We are really, it's almost close to a Cuba Bay of Pigs crisis for people who remember that. It all depends on what the Iranians do. Now, their first move has been proportionate. Iran has almost never attacked Israel. The only time Iran directly attacked Israel in recent times is in 2018 when they fired rockets on the Golan Heights.
Let me ask you, this might sound like something out of a novel, but just assume I'm being a bit dim here. Do back channels go on? Where
Absolutely.
Is Iran effectively going to be saying, look, you chaps in Washington, don't overreact to this, but we're going to take over this boat. Is that going to be okay?
Well, you write novels, so but they're going on right now, absolutely. They're quite active. India, all kinds of people are involved in talking, and it's actually burst over the borders of the back channels, and it's becoming louder now. It's actually chatter where countries are lining up under other countries, all saying to Iran, for God's sake, do not overreact. You will have Israel, which can destroy you in 30 seconds, and you'll have the United States. They will wake up Joe Biden, and he will come and get you. When he says don't, that's not the most effective threat, but, pay attention to it.
One thing Alistair Burt was saying is we had a message come in. I think it was from Barry. He said, why do we, the West, always get involved in basically sorting out the Middle East at cost to lives, cost to money? And actually, Alistair said, look, I'm quite optimistic that the regional states in the region are stepping up. And actually, we saw that with the Abraham's Accord. We've seen Saudi talking to Iran at one point. He kind of had a sense of a measured optimism that the region is stepping up because in many ways the West probably won't as much. I mean, is that fair?
No, I think he's got it slightly backwards, Barry. First of all, Israel has got a lot of allies in the Arab states, but they are not going to attack another Muslim country. So they aren't going to join with Israel in anything. Iran has only one ally in the Middle East, and that's Syria. And they're so occupied with their own problems that they probably won't be terribly affected. That's why everybody's talking and everybody's urging Iran to be cautious and measured. But Barry's point about why do we get involved in things in the Middle East? Well, the answer to that, Barry, is very simple. Because the people driving this in Iran and the people driving their proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, Al-Qaeda, Islamic Jihad, and all the rest of them, the people driving the Axis partners, as we now call them, Russia, Iran, China, Yemen, North Korea, these are all people that are influenced by actually 7th century Wahhabi Islamic dictates that infidels do not belong in the world. They should be gotten rid of. If you're not their kind of Muslim, not an ordinary Muslim, if you're not their kind of Muslim, good riddance, goodbye. So the point is, we're next. All of us are next. The reason we're doing this is not because we're fighting a war for somebody else in the Middle East. It's because if these guys grow in power, they'll be on our doorstep next. And actually, you can already see that in London much of the time right now.
Roger, listen, thank you very much for joining us, talking us through what's going on. I'm feeling slightly reassured talking to Roger and Alistair that the escalation that many have been talking about between Israel and Iran, which is a huge leap and very destabilising. We just don't need more world shocks.